Have you ever watched a single video, just a few seconds long, and felt your whole heart stop for a moment? Thought balloon, that's exactly what happened to millions of fans when BTS V, our Taehyung, appeared in the brand new Coca-Cola ad. But here's the real question I want to ask you right now. Why does something as simple as a commercial suddenly feel like a once-in-a-lifetime memory? Before we dive in, I want to welcome you to this channel, a space where we don't just watch videos, we feel them, we live them, and we share them together. If you're someone who believes music, art, and even a single smile from Taehyung can heal hearts, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because this journey is just getting started. Glowing star. The first glimpse of Taehyung. The screen fades in. Bright colors, sparkling energy, the sound of fizzing Coca-Cola filling the air. And then, there he is. Taehyung. His presence is magnetic. It's not just about him holding a bottle of Coke, it's the way he looks at the camera, the way his expression feels like he's speaking directly to you. I remember the very first time I saw the clip on Instagram. Honestly, I thought, oh, it's just another brand ad. But within 3 seconds, I realized this was different. Taehyung doesn't just act. He breathes life into every frame. The way he casually lifts that Coca-Cola bottle feels like an invitation, not to drink soda, but to share a moment of joy, of freedom, of connection. And you know what? That's the power of BTS. That's the power of V. They don't just sell products, they create experiences. Coca-Cola and BTS. More than a brand deal. Let's pause here for a second. Because if you've been following BTS for years, you know Coca-Cola isn't just another commercial. It's history. Remember their earlier campaigns. The energy, the way each member brought something unique to the screen. Coca-Cola always knew, when you put BTS in front of a camera, it's no longer an ad. It's a memory that fans will replay for years. But this one with Taehyung, feels more personal. Maybe it's the timing. Maybe it's the way the world has been missing their presence as a group. Or maybe it's because Taehyung, with just one look, carries the warmth of an entire universe inside his eyes. I found myself replaying the video again and again. Not because I was trying to analyze it, but because I wanted to feel that emotion again. That spark. That tiny flame of happiness lighting up a dull day. Taehyung's presence. Why it feels different. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why Taehyung feels so different from every other celebrity? Why his face, his voice, his aura seem to touch something deeper inside us? It's because Taehyung doesn't just perform. He connects. And in this Coca-Cola ad, that connection is undeniable. You can almost imagine him walking into your living room, handing you a cold bottle of Coke and saying, "Take a break, you deserve it." And suddenly it's not about the drink. It's about you, your story, your struggles, your need for a moment of lightness in a heavy world. That's why fans like us don't just watch Taehyung. We experience him. Perfect glowing star. Let's keep building the flow. I'll continue with part 2, keeping it emotional, personal, and storytelling driven, so the audience feels like they are living inside this Coca-Cola ad with Taehyung. The moment Taehyung smiled in that Coca-Cola ad, the internet froze. Fans everywhere hit pause, screenshot, rewind. Why? Because it wasn't just a smile. It was his smile. That soft curve of his lips, the kind that makes you feel like he's letting you in on a secret. A secret only you can understand. Have you noticed how Taehyung's smile never feels staged? It's not the perfect actor smile you see in commercials. It's genuine, unfiltered, almost childlike. In those 2 seconds, he reminded us of something we forget too often. Happiness can be simple. Happiness can be found in a laugh, a sparkle in the eyes, a sip of something refreshing after a long day. And that's why fans cried watching this ad. Because it wasn't just about Coca-Cola. It was about being reminded that even in the busiest, noisiest world, a moment of joy is still possible. Instagram eruption. When the ad dropped on Instagram, it wasn't just a post. It was an explosion. Comments poured in from every corner of the world. Taehyung looks unreal. Is this an ad or a movie? This made my day. And I'll be honest with you, I scrolled through hundreds of those comments myself. It was like a global diary of emotions. Fans in Korea, the US, Brazil, India, Pakistan, Europe. All speaking different languages but feeling the same thing. That's the power of Taehyung. He unites us in silence, in awe, in that collective gasp we all had when we saw him holding that Coca-Cola bottle as if it was a treasure. Think about it. How many ads in history can make millions of people cry, laugh, and fall in love all over again in under a minute? Very few. And yet, Taehyung did it effortlessly. Beyond the ad. A personal journey. Now let me take you into a little what if. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. You're walking down a busy street, tired from the weight of the day. You step into a store and there, among the posters and displays, you suddenly see Taehyung's face, smiling at you from a Coca-Cola ad. For a second, the whole world slows down. The noise fades. You feel like that ad was made just for you. And in that frozen moment, you realize something powerful. You're not alone. Somewhere out there, millions of fans are feeling the same heartbeat, the same warmth just by seeing him. That's the magic. Taehyung doesn't just appear on a screen. He enters your life. He whispers to you in ways no words can capture. And if a brand like Coca-Cola can recognize that, then maybe we all need to pause and ask ourselves, what is it about him that makes the world stop turning for a second? The mystery of V's aura. Let's be real here. Many celebrities have starred in ads. Some of them are even legends. But why is it that when V does it, we're left speechless? It's because Taehyung carries an aura. Some call it charisma. Some call it star power. I call it something simpler, truth. When he looks at the camera, he's not acting. He's sharing a piece of his soul. And in the Coca-Cola ad, that truth hit harder than any slogan, any music, any marketing trick ever could. And that's why fans say, I don't even drink soda, but now I want to buy a Coke. It's not about the drink. It's about the connection. The memory, the story behind that face, that voice, the aftershocks in the fan world. The ad ended in less than a minute, but the feelings, they lingered for days. Twitter trended with hashtags like hashtag Taehyung Coca-Cola and hashtag BTS Coke. Fan artists began sketching him, holding that bottle, eyes sparkling like starlight. Editors clipped the video, slowed it down, added dreamy soundtracks. Some even joked, forget the Coke, I just want Taehyung. But if you look deeper, you'll notice something important. Fans weren't just celebrating a commercial. They were celebrating him, his growth, his ability to turn something ordinary into something unforgettable. 4 armies who have been following BTS since their early days. Seeing Taehyung shine like this felt like watching a childhood friend succeed, like watching someone you've grown up with reach new heights. And maybe that's why so many of us felt tears in our eyes. It wasn't just pride, it was love. A love that doesn't fade, even when it's disguised as a Coke ad. Imagine sharing a Coke with Taehyung. Now let's step into a little daydream. Picture this. It's a hot summer afternoon. The air feels heavy and you're drained. Suddenly, someone taps your shoulder. You turn and there's Taehyung. Not as a superstar, not as a global icon, but just as himself. He hands you an ice-cold bottle of Coca-Cola. Here, he says softly with that deep, soothing voice. You look like you need this. You take the bottle and for a moment you forget everything else. The stress, the deadlines, the noise of the world. It all disappears. Sitting on a park bench, sipping Coke with Taehyung beside you, the world feels lighter. He laughs at something silly, his eyes crinkling the way they always do. And you realize that happiness doesn't always come from big moments. Sometimes it's in the simple things like sharing a drink with someone who makes you feel understood. That's what this ad captured. Not luxury, not fame, but simplicity. And isn't that exactly what we all crave? When brands become memories. Let's be honest here. Coca-Cola didn't just hire Taehyung to sell soda. They hired him because they knew he could sell emotions. And that's the genius of it. You see, ads usually come and go. You watch them once, forget them in an hour. But this became part of our collective memory. It's the kind of clip fans will look back on years from now and say, do you remember when Taehyung lit up that Coca-Cola ad? Do you remember how it made us feel? And here's the twist. Those feelings don't belong to the brand. They belong to us. To the community that watched it together, reacted together, cried together, and laughed together. The heart of Taehyung's impact. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time a celebrity made you feel truly seen? Not just entertained, not just impressed, but seen. For many of us, that person is Taehyung. Because he doesn't just stand on stage or appear in ads. He enters your heart quietly, like a soft melody in the background of your life. And when you need it most, he shows up. Whether it's in a song, a live stream, or even a 30-second Coca-Cola video. That's why fans call him more than an idol. He's a comfort, friend, a reminder that beauty exists in the world, even when things feel heavy. And in this ad, he wasn't just holding a bottle. He was holding hope.